Hello, today we're going to go over the installation of the Idlestopper module on a 2023 Honda CR-V. This is a brand new CR-V, new trim level, so the disassembly is different from the previous model. First thing we're going to start with is turning the car on and setting the parking brake. Okay, now that we have our parking brake set, we can turn the ignition off. Next step we're going to do is pull down on this shifter boot trim right here to expose the two screws on the back of the shifter. So then we're going to take these two screws out. Make sure you don't lose them. They are a very small, more of a specialty screw. We'll set those down here in the cup holder. All right, now that we've got our shift knob removed, the next thing we're going to do is come over and remove the cover here for the shifter. There's a little panel that pops out here. What you'll be able to do is stick a screwdriver or something similar, like a small flathead, in there and move down on the shifter to get it out of park. Once you do that, you should be able to move your shift lever down into a lower gear. Once again, make sure your parking brake is on. That way your vehicle doesn't roll when you take it out of gear. Next thing we're going to do is grab this whole panel here, and this whole panel is just clipped in. There's no screws or anything, so we're just going to grab it and pop it up and kind of wiggle it out in this direction. You can leave all of the connectors connected. You don't have to unplug anything. So you can take everything here, lift up. We're going to need to access this gray connector here for the idle stop off switch. So I'm going to go ahead and unplug that. And then on the back side of this panel, we're going to access the power outlet connector here. And I'm going to unplug this connector as well. There is a little tab that you need to push in and hold while you remove this connector. So now that we have those two connections loose, I'm going to go ahead and connect the Idlestopper module to the vehicle now. So we'll take our Idlestopper module out of its packaging. Okay, got our module here. So I'm going to plug the power end of the module. There's two black connectors on the module, one here and one here. And the first one is going to plug into the power outlet socket where you had unplugged the black connector before. And then the factory black connector that was there before is going to plug into this double-ended side here. It's a T-shape. It only really fits in one way. And when you have it connected properly, there will be a slight gap showing the terminals there, as you can see. And we're going to cover that with a piece of foam that's also provided in the Idlestopper packaging. So you're going to take this strip of foam and you're going to just place it over this connection and wrap it around. It'll protect it nicely, keep it from touching anything. Next thing we're going to do is take the Idlestopper module itself, and I'm going to plug it into the bottom side of the idle stop off switch. This is our gray connector. Adjust this camera real quick. Okay, so this is our gray connector that we unplugged from here. We're just going to take our Idlestopper and plug it into the spot where the gray connector was. And we're going to plug the gray connector into the Idlestopper module itself, just like this. And then you can zip tie this up to here and this wire up to here. That way it's all nice and neat. I'm not going to do that for this demonstration purposes, but definitely want to do that just to make sure it doesn't rattle around in there or anything like that. So putting back together, now we have everything plugged in. Just going to take this panel and slide it over the shift lever like this, and then we're going to wiggle this panel back into position. Like I said, it is just clipped in, so it will kind of sit in a spot, and then you'll be able to push and push down, and that is it. That is it for the console. All right, now that the shifter trim panel is back on, we can put our little park lock cover back on, stick that back on there. Then we can put our shift knob on next. We're going to put our shifter back in park, and then we put our shift knob back on, and put our two screws back in. All right, and once we got that in, this silver collar will slide up and just reattach. Put our boot back down, And now we can go ahead and start our car up and test the CR module. All right, in a few seconds, we should see the idle stop off light come on. There it is there. So that confirms that we are in off mode. You can reach down at any time and push the button and turn it back on again. You turn it on and off as many times as you like. Just every time you start the car, it's going to automatically default to off. So that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching this video, and thanks for your support.